It's a pleasure for me to be here. I'm incredibly moved by the entire event. And my deepest congratulations to each and every single one of you for your accomplishment and for your achievement. And I'm particularly touched when I got the invitation to attend this event by none other than the President of Asia Pacific, Mr. KL. Thank you very much for being here. His passion and his care for the people right here, that he has spent a lot of time in working out the agenda for the event. And when I was asked, my topic was inspirations. That was my topic. So I spent the next few days researching and thinking about inspirations. What inspires you? What inspires you? And I believe to different people, inspirations means different things. I still recall last year about this time, I was in Europe. I visited chateau after chateau in Paris. And there's one quote that particularly stuck in my head. And that quote says, "When the mind ponders, the heart decides." And so as I was pondering on what to say, as I was pondering what value can I bring to the table, what can I do that can bring more value of entrepreneurs in the Jeunesse world and outside the Jeunesse world, and that my heart decided that instead of look elsewhere, why don't I look from within? Why don't I look at how my journey of an entrepreneur to be where I am today? And I hope that through the examples and the story that I'm going to share with you, that will not only inspire you to pursue something, not only inspire you to cultivate your dreams, but also inspire you to act and to achieve those dreams. Like you have seen and witnessed the people that walk across the stage yesterday and today. There are a couple of things I've learned about inspirations. And that I believe is more important, the prerequisites, the precursor to inspirations. And there are three things that I've learned about inspirations. And first and foremost, it's your dreams. What is your dream? What are some of the things that you wanted to accomplish, or some of the things that you dream of becoming as a child? When you were a child, what did you want to become when you grow up? For me, I remember when I first got into the industry about 20-somewhat years ago, one of my dreams was to travel the world. And one of my dreams was to be able to tell my story across the globe. And one of my dreams is, if I was given an opportunity to tell my story and let that story be an inspiration to many. That was one of my dreams. And the practical dream at that time was to be a US dollar millionaire. So those are the things that inspire you, the things that's cultivating within you, that I believe is somehow, somewhere exists in each and every single one of us. It might not be identical as the things that we're looking for, but there's something, there's a fire, there's something that's deep in our gut that you wanted to accomplish in life. And so when you have a dream, it's very important to nurture and cultivate it. And the second thing we need to have is to be able to vocalize and to visualize those dreams. So the second thing I learned was to visualize and vocalize. What do I mean by vocalize? As you have a dream in your heart, because of the daily grind, that some of us call it, because of daily living in our life, that the dream, the flame, sometimes, somehow got put out by just the fact of living life. So it is very important for us to cultivate and to nurture those dreams by vocalizing them. What do I mean by vocalizing them? When other people might not see what you saw, you're going to tell yourself, I'm going to succeed no matter what. That you got to sing your own rhythm. You got to play your own drums in your own heart. And I can tell you that most diamonds that walk through the stage, they became passionate. They passionate. They became emotional because they have lived the path. They knew what it felt like, that when no one heard them, that they still kept going. You know, in life, succeeding, and I applaud each and every single one of you for being here. Succeeding is not about achieving the ranks only. It's not about what you say in here. It's gonna match. It's got to match right here as well. One of the things I love about this industry is the power of stage. And I do hope that you all felt the power. But I do hope that those of you that walked the stage and it was given the honor on this path to be on stage have that passion and the sincerity to tie in your words and to match it with your hearts. Vocalize. Vocalize your dreams. I remember when I first got into the industry, you know, the 6 people I enrolled in the business, 6 of them quit in a week. What did I do? I vocalized. I tell myself, you know what, someday I'm going to be a millionaire. I knew someday I would get to tell the world about my story. Not just by telling the world about the story, but the meaning behind it. There are other people that speak for the sake of speaking. But it's that meaning that resonates with people. It's a message that resonates with people. Vocalize it. I would tell myself, I kept telling myself, no matter what anyone said, no matter what, when no one believes me, I gotta believe myself. Vocalize it, visualize it. I still remember that when all the people, seemingly at that time, all the people I knew, the people that went to UCLA with me, people that went to UC Irvine with me in my college days, the people that worked with me in one of the Fortune 500 companies, when all my colleagues and friends didn't see what I saw in this industry, they would laugh at me. And they would say, Kim has been unemployed too long. And I would tell myself, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to be a positive factor to society. And I will vocalize and vocalize and vocalize it. Those vocalization, those things that you feed your mind, is going to help nurture to keep that flame going within each and every single one of you. How many of you have that courage to vocalize when no one believed you? How many of you have the courage to look in the mirror? And I remember at that time I would look in the mirror and I would be speaking to the mirror as if I was speaking to hundreds and thousands of people across the globe. Folks, 20 years later, that became a reality. But you've got to be willing to pay your dues. You've got to be willing to go through the path and stand up and to tell your story. You've got to live it long enough to tell your story. Have the courage to vocalize it, and visualize. What are some of the things that you want in life? Everybody wants different things. Jeunesse is an amazing platform to turn many people's dreams across the globe into reality. In every country I go into, I meet some of the most successful diamonds and entrepreneurs from different fields. Because of Jeunesse, their lives have been changed. And it moves me as a human being to core. And so as I look back to my journey, I said, what was it that inspired me? What is it that helped me to nurture my dreams, that kept me at the game of life? How many of you want to stay in the game of life? How many of you want to stay in the game of life? Show of hands. How many of you would not raise your hand no matter what I say? The third thing is to have a hope. Part of the inspiration, the prerequisite, the precursor to inspirations is to keep your hope alive. It's about singing that song of hope when seemingly nobody heard you, when seemingly you think that nobody sees the same thing that you saw, when seemingly nobody believes you, you got to keep that hope alive. Because you know why? Even though you thought nobody hurt you, the universe hears you. It's waiting to watch what you're going to do about it. I know sometimes it's tough when seemingly you saw something here. You couldn't quite put it to words exactly what you saw, but you felt it here. You felt something very special in here. And you're trying to articulate it. And people might not get it. But it's okay, keep that alive. Because I promise you, someone is watching. Someone is listening. You gotta keep that faith. You gotta nurture it, keep it alive. And so these three things are some of the things that kept me going. You know, I've been here a couple of days and I've seen different leadership groups the last couple of days. And one of the most common questions was, what was it that kept me going? And I told them different people have different things that will keep them going. For me, what kept me going is evolving. In life, things are evolving, isn't it? Are things around us evolving? So does our dream. So does the things that inspires you evolve. But once you have those three things, your dream, vocalize it, visualize it, and then keep that hope alive. You gotta keep that tune. You gotta play that tune. No matter how tough it gets, you play that tune. I remember many years ago that when no one saw what I saw, and I was so broke that no one would know that I was so broke, and I would keep telling myself, I said, someday someone will hear me. A lot of times, what hears you is beyond what your naked eyes can see. Sometimes, just when you thought that nobody hurt you, something unknowingly, unbeknownst to you, things are happening for a reason behind the scene. I recalled when we started Jeunesse, September 9, 2009. People often ask, how did you guys do what you did? And come to think of it, it is really, really special for Malaysia, this first KL Jeunesse University, that 5 of us in the kitchen table, in my kitchen table, that started this thing. We have no jade, no pearl, no sapphire. Nobody made a dime yet. Nobody tried a product yet. But 5 of us started this. And with that, for the very first time in a long, long time, the 5 of us are right here in this room. And I want to give thanks to my 4 other friends that started this project. Perhaps unbeknownst to us that this project has gone this far. And perhaps unbeknownst to us how this project has touched lives, many across the globe. So I would like for you to join me to give thanks and appreciation to those 4 other people in my kitchen table. Ms. Winnie Sukartio. Mr. Samson Lee. Ms. Tina Hu. And Mr. Robert An. Thank you for your trust. And thank you for your friendship. It wasn't an easy journey. it certainly was a journey, a rite of passage to a new life for me. I have laughed, I have cried, and more importantly, I have grown as an individual. And it's so special for Malaysia that from the United States, some of the countries that we started, the very first country that we started was in Taiwan. And the first few people that started in Taiwan, with the exception of one person that she couldn't join us, are all right here. There's 4 people that started in Taiwan, and one of them couldn't be with us here today, but the other 3 are right here, which is very rare for all of us to be in the same room under one roof. And I'd like to give thanks to Roger Lin and Eugenia Khan and Jason Chang. Miss Jenny Wong, who can't be with us because of some family issue, but I'm sure she's with us in spirit right here. And also the other country that we started was in Indonesia. And I believe you have met them, that these people were incredible human beings on the planet. And with that, I'd like to give thanks to Miss Ibu Jenny and Steve Wanda. On behalf of Jeunesse, and on behalf of my family, I say thank you to all of you. Who would have known? Who would have known the little decision that we made and the action that we took are creating what we have here today? You are here by no accident. The universe is working in amazing, magical ways beyond our logic and comprehend. So once you get the inspiration, the 3 core foundation in place, as you take that your dream, your inspiration, you're going to embark on a journey, what I call the rite of new passage to a new life. When you embark on that journey, that there's 2 things that are very important to me, because I hope that you take it to heart. I spend time and I think and I thought and I really try to look back on my 20 years of entrepreneurship. What are some of the things that made me who I am today? What are some of the core values? What are some of the core things that help me as an entrepreneur to be standing right here on stage? And there's 2 things I want to share with you that are very important. And number 1 is clarity. Having clarity of what you want in life. After traveling to over 30 countries, I met with hundreds and thousands of people. And it doesn't matter what culture, it doesn't matter what country I go to, there's something very common. That between the people that made it, that truly, truly made it emotionally, with meaning, with impact, are people that have clarity of what they want in life. We may not know exactly ultimately where we want at the end in life, because life is a journey. But they have clarity of what they want to achieve. To me, what clarity is, it's the best way for me to describe is this. I don't know about you. How many of you have kids at home, children at home? Show of hands. I have a little one, and by the way, for the very first time in my career, that I have both my husband and my son in the audience. Thank you for being here. You know, it is summertime, summer school time, and my son grew up in this industry. I remember traveling with Wendy and Randy when we started Jeunesse. Traveling up and down of Taiwan by then. Hugh was 1.5 years. And for the last almost 6 years now, I've been away from home 1 week out of a month. And I watch my little boy now speaking almost as tall as me. And for them to be here, and I know that for my husband to pull up with my hectic schedule and my traveling, I'm very grateful for that. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Clarity to me is to declutter. Remove the clutters. You know, the reason why I asked you how many of you have kids, have children, because when you have kids, you have toys almost everywhere for most people, and like the case of mine. You know, the housekeeper kept it clean, within 1 hour, it's all over the place. And so, clarity to me is putting things where they belong and having the right perspective of life. Putting things, removing the things that get in our way. So how does that apply to our dreams? In our mind, in our head, that most people will have excuses and reasons why they are not where they are in life. Most people have reasons that, you know what, I'm not succeeding because I'm not doing it full time. I'm not succeeding because my sponsor's not here. I'm not succeeding because Those reasons, the smoking screens, the smoking mirror, those things that got in the way of our dreams. But when you have clarity of what you want in life, when you have clarity of what you want to accomplish, nothing will get in your way. Just understand and embrace that it is a process. Have patience. You know what having patience means is, you know, a lot of times, how many of you know about Kung Fu? We're in Malaysia, we know about Kung Fu, right? At least we watch Kung Fu, right? You know, the best way for me to describe is this. There is a apprentice that go to the master and say, Master, show me the fastest way. Show me the fastest way to perform this art. And here's another student and say, Master, show me all the real foundations, how I can showcase this art. See, the fastest way doesn't necessarily mean the best way. And getting to where you are doesn't necessarily mean much if you are not the person you want to become in life. Second thing, and I know, to me, you know, this is about empowering entrepreneurs. This is educational. Clarity. Some of you might not get it. And as you embark on this journey, as you start working this platform, that, you know what, somehow, some way it will sink in. You say, you know what, some of you will have this something that I call aha moment. You say, you know what, aha, I got what it means of having clarity. You know, sometimes when I've traveled to different parts of the world and sitting with one-on-one, talking to leadership, and people will bring on all this stuff, and the reasons and excuses or whatever that might be, or you know, to them, it's not belittling to call them excuses. To them, it's legitimate reasons why they are not where they are. But when someone have gone through the path, you know those are just clutters, things that we've got to remove. And the other ingredient is very important as you get on the journey. These marbles, I call them marbles for you to take on your journey to pursue this new passage, on your journey to achieve and accomplish things in life. And I do hope that, you know what, I hope that you find something that excites you. And I do hope that you find something that inspires you. But it doesn't matter what it is. That the things I share with you, you'll be able to take it home and apply some of the things that you want to accomplish in life. And the second thing is courage. Courage to do something. How many of you have a vehicle, a car? Drive a car to work or to your business? How many of you have a car at home? Show hands. Cars, vehicle. Wow, Malaysia must have very good transportation system. A vehicle. Now, what would happen when your car is stalled on the freeway or on the road? When you're driving, if your car is stalled, meaning it doesn't move, you have a choice to sit in the car and wait for someone to rescue you. Or, if you get out of the car, you start moving your car. Now, if you are a kind and loving human being, that you saw a lady, let's say a lady's car got stalled on the road, and she gets out of the car and starts pushing the car. That takes courage to do that. And if you saw someone do that, what would you do? Especially if you're a gentleman, you're a male, what would you do, gentlemen? You would get out of the car and you would do what? You would help them push. If one gentleman started pushing the car and it didn't get too far, and if you are the other gentleman watching, what would you do? What would you do? Ladies are saying help. Where are the men in Malaysia? Don't attack my manhood. What would you do? Get out and help. See, the universe responds. If you sit in your car and you wait for someone to help you, some of you might have to wait a long, long time. But if you start by the first step, get out of the car, get out of it and start moving. And you know what? There might be people that will just pass you right by. Just like some of you will not say anything, will not raise your hand. But there will be those that are brave enough, that are compassionate enough to get out of the car and help you push. Courage. It takes courage to act. It takes courage to become an entrepreneur. Do you think these diamonds, they got to where they are because you sit in the stall car? No, they didn't. They took courage to fight for their dreams. Courage and fighting spirit. When you think of the word courage, what does it mean to some of you? To me, it's very apparent. Courage. When you see, for me, when I think of courage, it's like when you see the faces of soldier, when you see faces of hero, what do you see on their face? Courage. If you are a soldier drafted in the battlefield, if you are a soldier in the battlefield, right in front of you is a battle that you have to fight, what would you do? If you are a fighter, witnessing a battle that you have to win, you look at their face. It's a face with courage, with determination. That's courage. And this battlefield is fighting for our dreams. A couple of days ago, my son was playing a game on my husband, trying to hypnotize him to fall asleep. And he did this thing that really helped me reflect what I'm about to share with you. And I think the example that he had done with his dad, it helped me illustrate this point. That when you look at your hand, you put your hand together, what is this? A fist. Now, fist. When I say to you that this is not only a fist, it's an iron fist. How would you feel when it's an iron fist? Would you hold your grip tighter, would you? Would you? This is an iron fist. You tell yourself you have an iron fist. And it takes courage to hold that. But that power already existed within each and every single one of you. How many have a hand? Show of hand. How many of you have a hand? Show of hand. Now, I want you to hold into your fist. And hold it tighter. And I want to say to each and every single one of you, you have an iron fist. You have an iron fist to fight for your dreams. And in believing in your dreams. And always have that hope to accomplish something. You guys are incredible participants. Give yourself a big round of applause. It takes a lot of courage for us to be where we are here today. I still recall when we started building different countries. One of the first few countries I shared with you was Taiwan and Indonesia. I remember in the very beginning that I took Wendy to Indonesia. And we went to this island called, what is the island? Surabaya. And we went there, there's a couple of hundred people there. And a couple of hundred people, one person stood up and began to challenge us. And it was like a party. When one person raised their hand and started challenging us, guess what happened? The second person got up, the third person got up, the entire group started cheering. So, yeah, why are you here? Do you think it took a lot of courage to stand up to face all these people? It took a lot. But what's behind that courage? It's the three things I talked about. Your dreams, your vision. What do you want to accomplish? It took a lot of courage to open up markets after markets after markets. Last but not least, I'm going to share with you today the accumulation of things that I have connected as an entrepreneur and as a human being in my journey. Is that the hierarchy, some of us heard about the hierarchy of basic human needs. To me, the hierarchy of success is that first the three things: your dream, your vision, to visualize it, vocalize it, and to keeping that hope. Then the second tier, as you take that and go embark on this journey, is to have courage and have clarity of what you want in life. And the utmost core element and the core principle of this hierarchy for me was sincerity. And it took a long time for me to really get this. And as I came here, and I heard some of the people say, I want him to do that thing again. And now, some of you that haven't seen it, and as you see in my next gesture, you might think I'm pretentious, a prima donna, and whatnot. When I'm done with the story, perhaps you will understand me. To me, what sincerity is, and also the entire process, and the totality of what I've experienced at age 50 is sincerity. Sincerity with ourselves, with our situations, with our dreams. And as you look at this, there's something as powerful as this platform. Why don't everybody see it? Why? And it finally came to me, and I read a lot of books. Thank you, Kema, for assigning this project. I had done my research, I've done my homework. And I came out and I really, really got it. For my Chinese friends that speak Chinese, finally 我悟到了. That thing that prevented a lot of people is what I call those tinted shades. Some of you saw this. Now today I brought my very own. If you want to allow me. These tinted shades. Most of us live life wearing a tinted shade. And how we form these shades are because of our past experiences, past frustrations, failure. Whatever that we assign them to be, whatever perceptions we have accumulated, either by society, by our own experience, by culture, by our parents, by whatever that might be cumulatively in its totality, that we formed opinions and perceptions of certain things. And if I were to put these shades on and looking at the audience, I would see a very different audience, a different feel, a different energy from people in the audience. And most of the time when you go out there and share what you saw, what you felt here with other people, that because they didn't see what you saw, they didn't hear what you heard, they didn't, most important of all, they didn't feel what you felt. Therefore, they will form an opinion or decision of what it is that they saw, that they put on this tinted shade. And these tinted shades can be a protection for our very own egoic self. It is a safety net Most of us are afraid to be authentic, afraid to be seen. What I've learned, particularly the last 2 years, is that I have learned to take off my tinted shades. I've learned to be sincere with my feelings. More importantly, I have learned to be sincere with myself. Sometimes in life, things happen. Sometimes in life, that things happen and it sends us these lessons of life for us to break through. And yet, oftentimes, because of those tinted shades, that it blocked those lessons. And I do urge you, each and every single one of you, when you go home, be honest with yourself. When I say honest, I don't mean you are not honest. I mean, be honest with your situation. How oftentimes, when you go out there and share the opportunity with other people, they say, oh, I don't need this, I know what it is. How many people say that to you? Oh, I know what it is. You don't need to tell me. I'm cool, I'm good, I'm comfortable. I know a lady's nudging her friend next to her. And when they are brave enough to face their own situation, that comfortable might not be what it really seems. But it takes a strong person to have the heart to face that and embrace that. It's interesting that 20 some more years ago when I engaged in this industry, in the beginning, it was all about money. In the beginning, it's about becoming a millionaire. And surprisingly, when you get the money issue out of the way, we evolve into a different stage of life. Different purpose appear. I do hope that today, what you've heard, some of you got, some of you didn't. It is okay. It is a process. It is a passage. And I do hope that what you heard here today, from all the sharings, from this incredible leadership, that you've gotten something that inspire you to take action. And may you have the clarity and the courage to pursue your dream. But most important of all, may you have a genuine authenticity and sincerity with yourself. Go home. As you go home, go back to your respective country. Evaluate where you are in life. Know where you are and know where you want to go. If you don't know where you are, it's a tough ride to where you want to go. So first find out where you are. Be brave enough. We've all been there. I too was a struggling entrepreneur. I remember when my husband and I started dating, and he was a medical doctor and quite successful in his own right. And I remember at that time, I was a struggling entrepreneur. And I remember vividly that one of the trips that he had taken for a medical conference was in Carmel, California. It's a beautiful place. So while he was busy with the physician conference, And at that time, I didn't have any money in my pockets. And he didn't know that. And I remember that at the conference, he had to be gone for the entire day conference. And I didn't even have money for lunch. And I was too prideful to tell him I had no money. And so while his all-day conference, and you know what I did? I put on my jogging suit. I would walk out to the beach, and I would look out to the ocean. And what I saw was an abundance in this universe. What I saw and what I felt was abundance. Now keep in mind, at that time, I had zero money in my pocket. Didn't know how I was going to put, what food I was going to put in my stomach for lunch. I look out to the ocean, and I raise both of my hands and looking at the ocean. And I scream. I say, yes, I can, and yes, I will. I will do this. And this is broad daylight, by the way. Imagine what some of those people walking by the beach looking at me. This is certainly one crazy woman. But you know what? I didn't let it stop me. I kept singing and dancing to my own rhythm. I kept playing my own tunes. I kept that courage alive. Those circumstances, whatever money is your pocket money doesn't make you. Money only magnifies more of who you are. So I encourage all of you to take a hold. Look, you're looking at a person, a wife, a mom, an entrepreneur, started with nothing to stand up on stage to share this with you. Not because I'm any better, not because I'm any smarter, but because I had the courage and I had the clarity and the sincerity to fight for my dream. I heard a beautiful sharing from my husband. And oftentimes he thinks I don't listen to him. And honey, I listen to you a lot more than you think. And he Facebooked this about what his father taught him about being grateful, about gratitude. And I want to share that with you. He says, my father-in-law, whom I've never met, a very wise man, he says, when you receive something, acknowledge it. Be grateful for it. Today, whether you join Jeunesse or not, you received a message. And that message is to sincerely fight for your dream. To be sincere with your life. And the second thing is to pay back. But the third thing, and the more important thing of all, is to pay it forward. As you look at these double diamonds, some of them are making a lot of money. More money than they can ever dream of. And the power of that type of income is residual. But you ask, why are they here? They all flown in at their own expense to be here. Do you know why? There's something very special in this room. You have a group of global entrepreneurs, people started with like you and I. We are here because we want to pay it forward. We are here because we've been blessed by the opportunity. We are here because of our stories, and hopefully some of you will latch on it, and hopefully some of you will get inspired to do something meaningful with your life. And I'm very blessed to be surrounded by an incredible group of people with virtues, with character, with values. And I'm very grateful to all of you. Because somehow, some somewhat, some way, you have touched my life. Somehow, somewhat, some way, you have inspired me to do more and to be more. And in closing, I want to thank those international delegations that came with us, because tomorrow we're going to be embarked on what we call this annual gratitude tour. This is what it's about, paying it forward. That a group of directors, this year we're going to Bali, Indonesia, to visit the orphanage and the senior homes to give back to society. And it's not about giving money. It's the very act of giving gave us a deeper meaning and a deeper understanding of life. With that, I hope you carry the sincerity and live a more fulfilling life with Jeunesse. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause.